Hello everyone, my name's Brew Crick, but you can call me Brew, and we have a very exciting video for you today. Finally, after weeks since I lost the recording, we're getting to take out a very special ship to see, yes, to see if it can complete very high-risk target bounty hunting. The ship is the Vanguard Warden. Let's get started. I'm on a desert. Oh, and there's the ship. So, as you can see in the distance, oh, Star Citizen, continuing to make ourselves just feel so good with your graphics and with everything. Oh my god. The Vanguard Warden. This is a ship that I didn't... I was very late to the game in picking up this ship and giving it a go. So, learn from my mistake. Rent this out. Buy it if you've got the in-game cash. If you're considering buying this ship for real money, that's your choice. But you're going to see in this video that it is definitely a ship, worth the investment, no matter which avenue you choose to take, renting in-game or potentially with real-world bucks, if that's your thing. Can we just take a second to look at this damn thing? I wasn't always a fan of the looks because of the wee spindly wings that unfold, which you'll see in a second. But it's so grown on me. It's right. Let's just break the ship down. Okay, so this is a VHRT mission, but this is our ship walk around. By default, you get 4 size 2 lasers, bespoke lasers on the front of the ship. Do you see them there? Just sticking out. Let me just zoom the camera in. Those 4 lasers. They actually pack a punch. They're not repeaters, they're cannons. They do damage. Do not underestimate them. When I first was investigating the ship, I thought, can I swap them out? Can I put a better gun on? Can I put like one size 3 or something like that? They are good weapons. I have never changed those out. The only thing is we have the whole Gatling ballistic weapon issue where we've talked about it before in VHRTs. In those type of bounty missions, you want to stay out in the belts as long as possible to earn the most amount of money possible, and ballistics run out very quickly. But that is a size 4 gimbaled ballistic cannon, I believe. Neither here nor there. We're barely going to use it in this video. I recommend upgrading that front weapon to a size 5 laser, preferably a size 5 laser cannon, an M7A, the same cannon that's on the 600i that we looked at in previous videos. If you put that cannon on there, you are wrecking inside VHRT missions and anything below, and probably taking on a hammerhead as well. I've never tried that with this ship. Perhaps we do that in another video. You've also got some nice chonky missiles, I believe size 3s under there, which can make hurricanes pop. I've had to use them in an emergency a couple of times on another ship. So, good weapons. Good potential to upgrade the weapon, and we're going to take out the upgraded version as well. I know we fly stock, and I will fly it stock for you, but we will take this out with that upgraded front weapon. Look, though, what we have here. This is a relatively heavy and large fighter. It's a heavy fighter, but it's also got multi-crew gameplay. On the top, I believe it comes stock with size 2 ballistic guns, and I don't know if you can upgrade them. We can have a look at that later, and if I forget, as I'm often warned to do, hit me up in the comments and I'll get that information for you. But you can have a teammate on the turret, and if you have a turret on this thing, as we know, turrets are very much OP at the minute in 3.15, 3.16, and 3.16.1. You're wrecking stuff, you're mincing stuff if you get someone on that turret. And that's the big thing about this ship. It has an interior, it can have multiplay, it's got bed logouts, even though they're bugged to hell. It's got a little kitchen. It's got a shower. This thing has everything that you need in a ship. You can do box runs on this. You can do delivery missions on this. You can go down and you can take on bunker missions and store the armor in the ship. It's got interior storage. So the Vanguard Warden, and there are multiple Vanguards, each with their own benefits that we'll look at, is a very good all-round ship. Its shielding is good, its maneuverability is good, pitching, yawing is quite bad, so you want to roll into those turns and pitch up and down. Boost is relatively good, and those big engines there, those exhausts, they work as reverse thrust, so it's actually very good at slowing down if you don't push it too far. So that's a brief walk around of the Warden, already, if you're done for today, if you don't want to hear my voice anymore, can the Vanguard Warden complete VHRT, very high-risk target bounty hunting missions, and earn you 20,000 plus within minutes? Yes. But if you'd like to see it, come with me. And not stare at the ground. Alright, let's go into the back here. And, I'm going to go through all the ships that I've done in the VHRT and spend the same full amount of time just going over every single detail of them, because they are just absolutely spectacular. And this game with a gas giant, or whatever the Orison is in the background, you can actually see it setting. You can see it slowly descending into the horizon. Amazing. Now, things that are a pain in the arse a little bit. The door needs an actual display. This needs its gold pass. Ships should be getting their gold pass, meaning they get reworked and they get all the nice new up-to-date technology. So this doesn't. So sometimes getting the feckin' door to open can be a pain in the arse. You have to stand just right. But it's a minor thing. You'll get used to it, especially if this becomes your daily driver, of which the Vanguard Warden is definitely in the category for potential daily driver. Yes, indeed it is. All right, let's reset our camera and board the ship. This is the next thing that's a pain in the arse, is just closing this door, because what happens is when you first come onto the ship, this like airlock door is open, and just getting that closed is difficult because you close the door behind you, and this is a bit of a balls. And again, they need those door displays, so that's the way it usually comes, not just the airlock. Well, somewhat sort of airlock. We've got components back here, quantum drive. So again, all pretty cool. When repairing comes in, we could like repair a drive if it gets damaged. All very awesome. And it is actually a nice space to be in, especially when you go into that third person. You know, it's not as small as you would think. There is room. There's 2 beds. So it's multi-crew. The turret is just above us. We'll just go into that briefly before we look at anything else. Now, getting into the turret, again, the ship just needs a pass in some of those clickable areas and where you click to access things. It needs an update with panels and buttons like some of the more up-to-date and modern ships. So, into the turret. It's okay. It's not too bad. It's not the best turret in terms of clearance with these big panels either side, but it's not too bad. And if we turn on the power, what have we got? Sawbucks. You'll have to forgive me. I'm not too sure what those sawbucks are in terms of size, but they look to me to be the size of size 2s, right? I think they're still a wee bit big to be size 1s. I think those are size 2s. Either way, with all the weaponry this thing already has... Sorry, this is just too much fun. You know, the turret is going to be... I'm already blowing through all the ammunition. Get up, come on. Anyway, sorry, it's far too much fun. Good movement on the turret. Let's just hit the Q and then put up the sensitivity. Oops, and then... sorry, there we go. Q... Yeah, so it's good movement. It's a bit jerky when I do it that way, but smooth when we take that gyro on and off. Yeah, the turret's a good place to be. Absolutely. Your friend, or you, if you're swapping out with a friend, will absolutely enjoy sitting and using this weapon. Just update the turret's guns to lasers. Otherwise, you're going to be depleting in a very short amount of time. So that's the turret. We've got a bit of a bathroom in here. Can't see anywhere. I think the pooper's there, actually. Oh, and the door is closing. That's awesome. That door was not closing back in 3.15 from what I remember. So that is awesome to see. They've sorted that out. And there is the pooper. Awesome. So it's pretty cool. You've got some storage down here, which we can't open. We've got a door here that used to be bugged, and that looks to be like a weapon locker, perhaps, which is pretty cool. And that door closes. That was bugged earlier in 3.15 or 16, so that's good. We've got some storage in here. Excellent. And again, is that going to close? No, so this one's still bugged. Unless I'm not hitting it right. But, well, it's still pre-alpha. There's our engineering station to make repairs. I don't know if I want to glitch myself going on here because the engineering station doesn't work yet. There we go. Just hit Y to get out of there if you accidentally port yourself into the engineering station. And avionics access. So maybe some box storage in there. What do we have in here? Nothing much, just little cubicles. And if we hit I, we do have vehicle storage, and we have 1,500, no, 1.5 mil. Yeah, so if I'm reading that right, 1,500,000. Plenty of storage to take this down onto the planets for your FPS missions to store your gear. It's compact, but very functional. Don't open this door because it's going to ruin your feckin' immersion a wee bit. Damn it. Ah! Anyway, let's get this ship into a VHRT mission. We've had a nice in-depth walk around. Then again, just to show you, more spaceship stuff here. Power plants, shield generators. It's all super, super cool. And just walking about this thing is so nice. I just love all the details. And again, I think another power plant, another shield generator. So maybe it's 2 shield generators? Is it 2 size 2s, perhaps? Cooling module in there. Cooling module in there. Yeah, it looks like it's 2 size 2 shields, maybe. But you're going to see how the shields perform in a fight in just a minute. We're going to take on cutlasses. We're going to take on other wardens. We're going to take on Valkyries. And, of course, the big hurricane test. Atmosphere is a bit of an issue for this ship, I have found. It soaks up boost to get the ship turned in heavy atmosphere. So bring them into space. Just don't do it to yourself until you've had practice. Bring the enemies into space, add a few minutes to your kill time, and you're going to have a far more enjoyable experience. Cockpit is, again, yeah, it's a pretty nice place to be. Reasonable view. The struts aren't too thick here to get in the way. MFDs take a little bit of space here in the peripheral, and when we move up, this gets in the way a little bit, but I haven't found it to be annoying or bothersome. It is a nice place to spend, 1, 2, 3 hours fighting in, and once you get the hang of it, you're cleaning up all day. So, can it bounty hunt? Well, let's see. So, MFD setup, just as usual. I'm going to put my shields over here. We'll do that setup. We'll put our target status here, and we'll get a comms up so it doesn't interfere with our target MFD, because there's a bit of a comms bug where your target MFD will try to call the enemy ship for some bizarre reason. F4 to see this. Oh, beautiful ship. Absolutely in our desert environment that we're in here on Daymar. So our engines are on. I've kept them on for any storms, so let's just see what this thing looks like taking off. Now this is the only thing about it. So I quite like the landing gear. It's like a proper, like a traditional military ship perhaps that we see here on Earth. But if we call in the landing gear, as much as I love the ship, I don't know if I'm sold on these wings or not. Everything is like rugged, chunky, but still compact. But these wings just look, and they do, like they could break off, and they do break off. So, as much as I've really come to love the ship, those wings, yeah. There's something you'll come to love or hate or whatever you prefer, but the performance of the ship will outmatch the wings. Because most of the time you're going to be in this view, you're not going to see the bloody wings until you look down and realize, whoops, they're blown off. Okay, let's get into atmosphere. And off we go. This, yeah, I love the engines on this thing. I love it just escaping from atmosphere. Absolutely awesome. I've got some cinematic footage of this fighting, which I'll put up hopefully over the weekend. It's a really great ship to have in your arsenal. Speaking of that, just as we're loading up the mission, so as usual, just in case this is new to yourself, F1 to go to your Mobiglass. We're going down to the contracts manager. We're going to get our mercenary call to arms. So every kill we get bonus money. And then we're going to go back into general bounty hunting and pick up our first VHRT mission. Quantum is good in this. Let me just show you something. F2. Look where our quantum takes us, right? 2498 spot 52. No problem getting to microtech in this thing. Not a problem at all. Crusader. You could do a couple of trips. ArcCorp. No problem. Look at the cost. You could do back and forth to ArcCorp from Crusader. No problem. I haven't timed the speed. So with that efficiency, it's probably not going to be the fastest in the world, but it doesn't feel as slow as like a Connie. So again, the all-rounder ship. I never considered the Vanguard Warden to be an all-rounder ship. I always thought it was a PvPer ship because that's what it was back in the day. You always saw the pirates and the bounty hunters taking on the pirates. I always saw this as a PvP ship, and it probably still is. I don't do PvP. I can't comment. But this is an amazing PvE ship for nearly every piece of content bar trading. You can travel around the system. It doesn't have scanning or anything, so obviously when those loops come in, but at the minute, for fighting, for box running, for FPS missions, for traveling around the system efficiently, for multi-crew combat, for you and one other friend, yeah, this ship has it all. And you're about to see that in a minute. So let's spool up and fight. Why are we going to our corp? That's because I put the route there. My bad, sorry. Yell is where we want to go. I was about to say, I was like, how have we got a bounty while we're in Daymar for our corp? So let's take a look at the spooling. Calibration seems to, or spooling seems to be quite good. Calibrations, you know, it's nothing to write home about, but it's not bad. The other thing, just for someone brand new into this ship, it's not the rhombus. It's actually, we have to push up a little bit to that crosshair, similar to this 400i to actually get the jump. So don't try and align like this. Sometimes you see it'll misalign. So it's actually the crosshair below. I don't know. You get certain ships do that. I think the Cutlass Black does that too. I know this the 400i does that. Strange design. It is what it is. So let's talk about tactics as we're approaching the bounty. So unlike the 600i that has 3 M7A size 5 laser cannons, when we take that version of the ship out, and I will show that to you on the third bounty, I'll cut to it just to show you how much more fun it is when you have this thing properly kitted out. Unlike the 600i that stays back and sort of snipes things a little bit and then deals with any swarming, with this ship, with this setup, with the Revenant Gatling in the front, we're going to use the Revenant Gatling only when we get into trouble. So I want to show you how you can do hours worth of bounties without getting that laser upgrade. It can be done, but really, honestly, if you do 2 or 3 bounties, that's going to be 60k. I'll have to check the price. It might be 80k for the M7A. We'll check it after this fight. So that's 4 bounties, right? It's not even 4 bounties because you're going to get additional money. So I need to track the mission because I wasn't tracking it. Once you get that cannon, you can snipe a little bit. So it's a different tactic when you're running stock. So when we're running stock, we're going to go in and we're going to assess the primary target. If it's a Hurricane, which it's not, we need to clear the rest of the enemies so we can dance with a Hurricane. With slower ships, the rule of thumb I find is clear out everything but the Hurricane, because you're not fast enough to dance around the Hurricane and all the other ships. You got to clear them out. When you're in a stronger ship, take out the Hurricane first because you can deal with the beating from the other ships. This ship's kind of in the middle. So it's not a Hurricane, it's a Valkyrie. So we can actually focus on the target, and then if we want to, kill it and leave. The guns, the MVSAs, those laser cannons, I find 12 to 1400 meters. Like even here, it's giving us a lock, and they are gimbaled, so we can go to G and we can get some gimbaled hits. Now watch our shields there. Valkyries seem to be cutting through the Warden's shields a lot quicker than I remember from 316 or 315. But again, if we just hit shift to boost, and then if we use D to strafe, he's getting less shots on us. But those gimbals literally aren't doing jack. Maybe they're fixed. Oh, it's the Revenant that's gimbal, so that's my bad. Scratch that. Our lasers are fixed. So we're in a poor position, so we're going to bank out power to shields F7, and they are fighter shields. So we can't put power to any one phase. We just need to bank out. We haven't lost any progress because that was a poor approach, and we didn't do any damage to the Valkyrie because I was shooting fixed lasers, assuming they were gimbaled. And that's why I think it's good. I'm just going to switch targets here. We've got a Hurricane, so I'm going to focus on the Hurricane. See if we can get a quick kill here. Let's just try it. Now again, I'm only going to use the lasers, and I'm only going to use the Gatling if I'm in trouble. So yeah, I've just found that the Hurricanes, and I think we've got a double Hurricane set up here, the Hurricanes have been really aggressive in 316.1. I don't know if you felt that as well, but I just feel like they're really starting to challenge us, and hey, that's no bad thing. You know, you don't want the game to be easy. Power back to weapons, F5, we're at 92 shields, and we can take that. Then power back to engines, F6 as we're going into the turn, because our cannons have recharged. We're jousting with a Hurricane. If you watch any of my other videos, that's not good, but we're in a slower, bigger ship. So we don't have too much of a choice about that, but we can take more hits than the likes of the Avenger Titan, the Mustang, the Gladius. We can take a few more hits, and now we're lucky in that power back to weapons, F5, that the Hurricane seems to just have had a bit of a brain fart. It's not really doing anything. So I'm rolling into those turns. I need to stop yawing and strafing. I need to, you know, roll in and then pitch up and down. So weapons are a little bit bugged on us at the minute, so our power systems are not recharging those weapons. If that happens, hit P on your keyboard, just turn the weapons off. I'm not getting any response from my controls. P is not working. I'm trying to move power around to see if we can get those weapons. We might actually have had a desync. It's very likely we've had a desync, and we might even get kicked out of the server. Let me just check. Yeah, and there we go. Oh. What's more dangerous than a hurricane inside Star Citizen? Yeah, it's a desync. I'll see you in a minute because I'm going to have to retrieve the ship, and I'll join you when we're back in the belt. Okay, welcome back, everybody. We got booted from the server, so we have then thankfully spawned in PO without having to reclaim our ship. Let's get back into the fight. We will need to accept another mercenary call to arms, and we will need to accept another VHRT mission. And yes, thank you very much. What we'll need to do is we'll need to have a wee think then just about our tactics, because that see jumping around Oris, and sorry, I'm a little bit pumped after that that disconnect, because we actually have been having, or I don't know about you, pretty stable servers recently, so getting disconnected is now, I'm not as desensitized to it anymore, so it irks a little bit. Okay. So where were we? Tactics, yeah, so we're not going to be able to snipe with this thing until we upgrade that front nose, and even then you get a couple of seconds of sniping, so you can't really stand still. So I actually don't snipe too much with the Warden. What I do is I just use that big size 5 when I'm up close to finish off and wreck the slower ships, especially the Valkyrie or the Wardens and Cutlasses. The Hurricane, I'm using that big gun when they slow into turns, which is rare because, as I was saying, they're very aggressive these days, they're Hurricane NPCs. I'm going to actually start the little timer. Now, we are doing an Atmo, so they're generally longer, and I've said before that the Warden, for me anyway, does not like Atmo fights. I don't think it does. So, if we've got anything other than a Hurricane, if it's all the other ships, we'll fight deep in Atmo. Okay, fair enough. If there's Hurricanes there, if there's 2 Hurricanes or more, we need to pull that out of atmosphere and try and deal with them because they're going to shred our shields. Oh, I'm terrible at getting ready, so just don't, you know, learn from my mistakes. Target status, shield status, and comms down here. And then, there we go. What have we got? So, we've got a Valkyrie. Good. And a Warden. Good. Warden's the main target, so let's just get our 20k. I'm going to go, because here's another thing, right? We're taking this thing out stock. This is just, if you just bought this ship today, literally, you just done what I've done. 5 minutes ago, you've got out of PO and you've started watching this video. I'm not going to use that Revenant Ballistic Cannon, because I wanted to show you what these size 2, 4 size 2 laser cannons can do for you. So, the Valkyries, they're hitting harder too these days. I talked about the Hurricanes being smarter, more aggressive, but the Valkyries are as well, and there's a Hurricane, great. Let's see. Indecision's bad. I'm trying to give you guys the best advice. Really, you should be focusing on that Hurricane. Alright, let's take it out. Now, the cannons are fixed. The Revenant is a size 4 weapon, so it's gimbaled, which would be, you know, gimbal ballistic is pretty nice. But you see, look at the shields go down. We all know, if you've watched my videos, you've seen the Hurricane shields be nasty. But what's going to happen is that Hurricane's going to get its pot shots at us, even if we try and bank and pitch. Look at our shields. But the Valkyrie is just sitting out wide and peppering us. So in this situation, I'm going to have to take us into space. I've seen this play out too many times. If this happens to you, power to shields, just take it into space. You're going to have so much more downtime if you blow up, or if you take, you know, excessive hull damage. Alt-C to enter decoupled mode and let that momentum take you into space and reanalyze. Who's near you? It's the Hurricane again, of course. Alt-C again to go out of decoupled mode and to get power back, and someone's just hit us. That's the problem with those side wings. This used to happen to me a lot. The NPCs just crowd around and they just smack into you, especially when you go and decouple, because they don't really know where you're going to go next. The problem with trying to take the Hurricane down first is it's just such, you know, it's a hard target to hit, especially if you're a new pilot like me. But we'll just give it another try and see if we can get lucky. Power back to weapons, so that is going to be F5 on your keyboard. I'm moving forward with W, but I'm also strafing. We're getting desyncs again, which is frustrating. But it's part of the battle. We've got to deal with the mechanics. The Hurricane's running. Oh, they're really trying to piss me off today. Okay, so disengage from the Hurricane's being a little bitch. Let's target something else. Let's take that bloody Valkyrie out, because it is a chunky monkey. Power back to engines as we're traveling to them and try and get some boost back for the maneuvers we will need with that Hurricane, who you can see on my radar is sneaking up our backside. Right, okay, a few good bursts will take down this Valkyrie. And on hindsight, you know, maybe that's the one we should have focused up, but look what the Hurricane's doing. You can see that Hurricane is coming in to join the fight. And we're, you know, we want to pitch up like that. You do not want to be strafing about and yawing in this ship. I'm going to just do Control Shift to really throw the arse down on us. And I can't get the guns in. Power back to weapons. I was too busy talking. That was stuck on engines there. That's why we weren't getting any sort of ability to fight or shoot our weapons. And now we've got cops. Now we've got cops. So I have to stay still. Are you absolutely... I'm going to lose my mind. I have to stay still in the middle of a fight. We will die. So we're going to get a crime stat. Oh, sweet mercy days. Welcome to Canet VHRT. This ship is a joy to VHRT with. But we've got an atmospheric mission. We've got an atmospheric mission with a Valkyrie and a Hurricane, which is difficult in any sort of combination. And then we've got a space cop that, if I don't stop very shortly, is going to open fire on me and give me a fecking crime stat. Let's deal with this Hurricane, because the rage is real. I'm going to bring on the gimbals for the... and now that's the cop shooting missiles at me. Fucking fantastic. Ooh. And now we can't get our money, because you can't do bounties if you are wanted. I don't even know if we can get our mercenary mission. This is turning into absolutely fantastic land. I'm just unloading all weapons at this piece of shit Hurricane right now. And this is why I don't do gimbaled and fixed in the same setup. You can see now we've got 2 pips to lock onto, which is just absolutely fantastic. Fair play to you if you can do it. Oh, the rage is real. The rage is burning in my soul. You can probably feel it coming through the camera, and I just want to absolutely wreck this piece of shit Hurricane. Alright, take me off. Take me off, goddamn gimbals. The ballistics are gone. Oh, so it looks like we're getting a bonus mission. I'm going to give you some clips on clearing our crime stat, because I need to get some footage of this thing performing, because I've said, yes, it can be HRT. And you see that I'm still alive. I haven't taken any hull damage. Shut up, cop, or I will absolutely wreck you. You know, we're still alive. You know, we haven't taken any red hull damage. So this ship under these really difficult circumstances, while a cop is firing missiles at me. And he did hit. Those were... Oh, what the hell? A cop, do not make me kill you. Power back to shields. We're going to bug out, because if we kill him and the crime stat gameplay loop bugs out, if that bugs out, we will have to go to jail. And at the minute, it's probably only about half an hour or so. But if we wait any longer, cop, you do not want to challenge me. So let's breathe. Can we just breathe a second? I want to jump to this OM marker and then breathe for just a second, because that was very intense. I was trying to talk you through all the mania that goes on in a fight, and everything, nearly everything that could go wrong did go wrong. Atmospheric mission. We misselected our targets. We probably should have got that Valkyrie down. Shut up, cop! Anyway. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong. I made a mistake. We should have targeted the Valkyrie. Clear it out quickly because it's a slower target. Take those hits from the Hurricane. Switch around targets. Kill the Warden. Then probably bug out and forget the Hurricane. It's only 1,000k. Or 1,000 credits, whereas killing the target gives you 22,000. But we took it into space. We didn't get any sort of red hull... Shut up. We didn't get any red hull damage, but then we got a cop on us. And that is ludicrous. That's the second time that's happened to me in 2 weeks. I'm not staying still in a fight with a Hurricane and a Valkyrie, you know, basically eye to eye to me. It's not happening. It's not happening. So, I do want to give you a calm walkthrough of the stock Warden in a fight. But you've just seen the most hectic, real, it's not staged, this rage you're hearing in me is real. You just saw the most hectic, real fight in a Warden, and we survived, and we didn't take a lick of damage. Not a lick of hull damage in that entire encounter. And we got hit with, I think, pretty sizable missiles there. And I was distracted and enraged, and I wasn't managing my power triangle properly. I wasn't communicating to you guys properly, and we're still alive. That speaks to the testament of the ship, not its pilot. Not its pilot. The ship got us through that there, not me. Because I'm a noob. Clearly. Oh, breathe deep, everyone. Let's get our inner chakras aligned. Let us find our peace. And I'm hoping everyone will be distracted with the Xenothreat event, which I'll be covering, hopefully, tomorrow or so. I've got some footage where me and a few mates went out, and it was good fun. We got minced a few times, but made a good bit of money just enjoying the event. I think made like 300,000 over an evening, which we've worked out on one of my Constellation videos, that, you know, that 300,000 takes about an hour to grind if you're just grinding, whereas this was a full event and it was a lot of fun. Let's just show you the ship when we're sort of coming into a stop. So we're at that sort of usual speed I would recommend, around the 600-700 mark. This is a heavy fighter, it's not a Gladius. So if I take the cruise control off, if it's going to behave, it slows reasonably well. I'm not using any boost. Let's hit boost. Still slows reasonably well. You don't want to be pointing at anything, but if we, again, as usual, do the turn and put the reverse engines in, and it stops. No problem at all. So, again, big ship, big fighter, so it's not going to forgive you if you're pointing at something and going at full speed, but if you flip it around 180, it'll stop very quickly for you. Okay, so let's call Grimhex, and I'll be back with you in just a minute when I've bought the Tiger Claw, and I'll show you how this thing is. We'll take this thing into security post Crusher, because that'll be fun footage to see, and we'll try and get one calm asteroid bounty. You've seen this thing in atmosphere. Oh, I might just call this the absolute shit show VHRT video, and we'll do a proper one. I think it's good to see this ship perform in these special circumstances, but I think you guys deserve a cool, calm, and collected can at VHRT bounty hunt, which it can do. I think you've seen that, but yeah, let's clear this crime stat, and let's see how well we can hide this thing at the Crusher station. I will see you when we are there. See you soon. Alright, everyone, we're back. Oh, 15 kilometers out. I actually haven't done this with a Valkyrie. I've only ever done this with a Gladius, so let's try and approach the station. And if you haven't cleared your crime stat before, you need to go to Grimhex and buy a Tiger's Claw chip. There's a video I've actually done on it that you can watch. And what we need to do is turrets will fire on us, so we need to sneak our ship underneath this pylon or this landing pad here. But stopping this ship, as we've just seen, is not its best suit without doing a 180 flip, which we won't have the luxury of doing. So we might take a little bit of fire here. But what we want to do is hide the ship underneath. Are we going to be too big? Okay, I'm putting the wings in. I think we're okay. I think we're okay. Oh, this has been a stressful night. Well, you're getting a very different video than the one I intended to do for you, but hey-ho. Clearing your crime stat on a Vanguard Warden seems to be something that is in the realms of possibility. It's a wee bit too chunky to fit back there, is it? Basically, I'm hiding the ship underneath the platform and getting it nice and flush like that. Which actually works quite well in this ship because we got the landing gear there. That's cool. And it will go back. I just wasn't aiming it very well. So we can actually use the landing gear to get it down. Hey! Not what it was intended for, but that's fine. I think we're safe here. We're nicely hidden. So let's head out. And let's quickly clear our crime stat. I'll bring you back into the room if anything exciting happens. If not, hopefully, you'll see me. Oh, that's what I was talking about. This evening. This evening. It's not the ship's fault. This ship is good. I'm just overly irked by everything else that's going on. The ship has not failed us yet. Ow, ow, ow. Okay, I'll bring you back in if anything exciting happens. See you in a minute. Okay, and we are back, everybody. We have successfully looted the place full of pistols, a few guns, a pretty cool helmet, but other than that, nothing too interesting. So let's head back to our ship. Hopefully no one boarded it, because I stupidly left the ramp down. And let us do one more VHRT. I can't even speak, and usually I can't speak. You know this if you've watched my videos, but it's gotten bad. The stress of this evening has really affected my already broken speech maker machine thing. Let's do one more VHRT stock, and then let's swap out that big gun on the nose. As you can see, I've got the ammo back on it since I've been kicked out and and everything. So we should be able to fly away from the station safely. I'm getting stuck a little bit. There we go. And lovely. Look at that. Excellent. So hopefully we won't get shot at. Basically, we had done that. We were upside down. Hey, what a shot. Lovely. No laser fire. Okay. Please, a nice space. A nice space for all that is wholly a simple space VHRT round yellow. 2 of those to show you before we call it a night, and we'll try again next week to make this video in a more professional manner. What have you got for me? Yellow's looking good. Oh, thanks to be... Oh, praise you. Praise you, Star Citizen. Please don't let that praise be premature. Okay, we're going to approach in at roughly about 600. About 600 in this ship. And because we're only using the 4 cannons, we're going to get talked over here. Hang on, by the event. It is a good event. I'm just in a terrible mood. It is a good event. Check it out. It's challenging, but there's some good money to be made there. So we're approaching at about 600. Let's just speed up a little bit. We're going to initially come in. I think I'm going to use the engine approach. And the engine approach is where you actually come in with full power to your engines, so that you can approach a bit more aggressively. So you're waiting a bit longer to slow down before you take that cruise control off. I'm just watching. There are 2 Hurricanes. Of course there are. We're killing this Valkyrie and we're leaving. Do you hear me? We're killing this Valkyrie and we are leaving. So we're going to go very aggressive off the cruise control, shift to slow down, and we're going to be shooting those cannons. Spinning back around, power to boost. I've got power to boost for days because we came in with power on our engine, so I'm not afraid to use all that boost up and get back into the fight. Power back to weapons now, because we really need to put these fixed lasers into this Valkyrie, because those Hurricanes are going to come at us any minute and we're not going to be able to stay in the fight. We're using D to strafe to the right and then roll into that turn and pitch up rather than yaw left or right. And there, his shields are going down. Now it is fixed, so we aren't getting any gimbal assist. Roll into that turn. I'm holding W on my keyboard to move forward to follow him in. Now we can just about take the Valkyrie's shots. We can't take the Hurricanes. When they get set up, he's dead. Hit B on your console to spool up. Aim at any available target. Power back to shields F7. Calibrate and align. Do a few corkscrews. Be careful of asteroids. This is where you can die. If those shields are back up, power back to engines F6. Your weapons are useless now. We are not taking on 2 Hurricanes. It's only worth 1,000 credits. You can see just on the screen there, we got 21,000. It is a waste of time, and I am in no mood to take them out. B to jump, and there you go. VHRT done in whatever that was. In whatever that was like a couple of minutes. So, oh my god, this has been an evening. Thank you so much for staying with me. We're not done just yet. I'm going to go take out... Don't ask me why. I've got two of these ships. I'm going to take out the other one that I have that's actually loaded out with that big M7A cannon on the front. I'll get the prices for you while we're doing that, and I'll see you in just a moment. But yes, just to recap, that was a bit hectic. I put power to engines to get in super close, and that when we inevitably barreled around, to get back into the fight quicker. But I usually use that tactic when I've got the big cannon on front, because when we turned back in on ourselves there against the Valkyrie, we didn't really do any damage. I was too busy, chatting and those sorts of things to do much damage with those 4 smaller cannons. You'll see the same tactic again where we're going in aggressively, but we'll do a lot more damage to our primary target unless it's something like a hurricane that runs away from us. But what's interesting in 3.16.1 is that the Wardens are starting to run away a bit as well. If we slow down too early, they back off if we slow down too early. I find that really interesting from the AI, and I applaud it. I want to see more complex fights. It makes the game more interesting, and it makes us better fighters if we have to have a bit of that challenge rather than just sitting dead waiting for us to just roll up and snipe them. Okay, so let me get the other one out, and I'll be back in a minute. Alright everybody, we are back hopefully for the last interruption, but it was well worth the wait. Look at this beast here. Can we just go into third person here and just pan out? Look at the size of this size 5 cannon on this ship compared to my little red R's here. I'll just walk up beside it. Oh my god. That's so cool. Oh, goodness me, goodness me. That is a big gun. That is a very big gun. Anyway, so first figure to give you is how quickly can you get that gun on your Warden doing bounties. And again, like all our VHRT episodes, they assume that you've unlocked the VHRT certification, which will take a bit of investment in cash. But you can grind your way up to that pretty straightforward doing the lower risk targets. And we're doing a starter ship VHRT next week in the Mustang. We've just done a player's guide for it, or my cousin Birdhouse is quite an eccentric character. If you haven't watched that video, he's definitely someone you would like to meet. Maybe not like to talk to very long, but that is your preference. We've also done a starter ship VHRT in the Titan, which handled very nicely. There was a few brown trouser moments. So there's definitely ways for you to grind up to earn the ship in game and grind up to earn these bigger weapons. The price then of this, look at it over there, the M79. Now you've only got 7 shots, but when you put power to weapons, it goes up to, wrong button as always, brew. Power to weapons, it goes up to 8 shots. Look at that. But 8's all you need, baby. 8 is all you need. Okay, so while I'm talking, I'm just going to multitask a bit here and get our mission set up. I've had to relog because between now and since you've seen me, which for you would be a split second, I got stuck in a door and had to log again and lost my helmet. The night keeps on giving in this Star Citizen play session. Anyway, so let's continue on. I'll need to track it all evening. I've given you the advice, track your missions when you accept them after called arms, and I keep forgetting to do it. That's just where I'm at today. That's just where I'm at today. So prices, let me just get those on screen as we spool up to Daymar to get around the planet. So first things first, to buy this ship in-game, if you're liking the look of it, and again, you should rent all ships, I think. If they're rentable, rent them and try them out. So we'll see if it can be rented. If not, ask someone on the server. There's a lot of these around. It looks like it can be, though. Hang on. So, yes, Lorville. You can rent the Warden, not the other variants, but you can rent the Warden for 100,000. So you'll make 100,000 in the ship in 30 minutes. If you're not plagued with all the bullshit that you see me experience today, you will make 100,000 in about 30 to 45 minutes. Easy. Probably a lot less than that. But if you're getting used to the ship. Or you'll make that money back in your other ships that you're using. It might take a bit longer in some of the starter ships, maybe an hour. But that's the rental amount if you want to try this out. To buy the Vanguard Warden in-game, so renting, just to recap, let's round it up, so it's 102,000 credits. To buy this in-game is 3.4 million rounded up. Okay? It's an investment, but this is... I know this hasn't been the best video. We'll do a full tour of this ship, and we'll do a full proper VHRT video for this ship. But look at what this ship has got me through. It has not killed me. It has not trapped me. It has not caused any issues to me other than the janky doors. It's got me through so much this evening, and it can do so much more. It can quantum all over the show. It can... Like, I haven't refueled this thing since my last playthrough on this version of the ship because I got 2 of these. Again, don't ask. And the Quantum's still flying me around asteroids. I don't have to worry in this ship. If I'm semi-competent, and I'm being full noob at the minute, and it's still delivering for me, this ship, it's worth 3.4 million in-game. It is. I'm not on the site, I'm on a different site, so they're quoting here around $260 for the ship. Again, the whole money conversation, that's up to you. But if you think, you know, is this ship a good ship? Will it do a bit of everything? Yes, yes, and thrisely yes. Finally, to upgrade that cannon, then, if you do own the ship or you want to factor that into your calculations, you can buy this cannon. Again, I don't know how up-to-date these figures are, but Hurl 2 is usually where I go to buy a lot of my ship weapons rather than landing on a planet. Just a bit quicker. You can buy the M7A there, apparently, according to Urkel.games, for around 76. So we just rounded up to 77,000 credits. So if you own the ship, or if you want to rent the ship, an hour to pay off the rental amount, or get that money back, and then another bout, so 80,000, it makes no difference. That's 3 of these bounties. So there you go. There's the prices. I'm just conscious of time. I was going to do one more with just the cannons, but I think this will be our last VHRT. This video has gone on quite long considering all the mishaps we've had. So let's do one bounty hunt now. I've been floating slowly into the target. So I'm going to start my timer now just to show you the kill time. We could probably add about 20 seconds travel time into the belt that we've taken up here by chatting. So starting the timer now. We're approaching with the speed tactic, power to engines, which is F6. Quickly fix my MFDs because that's just the kind of night I'm having. There we go. So we're going in at speed. This is a Valkyrie. And then I'm taking off the cruise control around 5,000 meters, holding shift to slow down. And I'm going to load in with that big cannon up front, power back to weapons. Whoa, we got some really good hits on this. They got some really good hits on this. But I've got plenty of boost in to bring our nose around. And now we can whale in with both sets of weapons. That's left click in for the big cannon and right click in. This Valkyrie is moving, so he is moving. But watch that big cannon, right? I'm just using the big cannon. Look at those shields go down. His shields are down. Now, I'm strafe flying. I shouldn't strafe file, but strafe fly because look at our shields are getting absolutely minced. But let me just see if I can do anything about that. Okay, we need to bank out. That's okay. F7, it's fine. We're still only 50 seconds into the fight. Just about to hit a minute. So, you know, don't take that damage. Don't get greedy. Bank out. Get your shields up. It is using fighter-style shields. Those those size 1 shields, I believe. Size 2 maybe in this thing. I'll have to check that for you as well. Before we finish up. Alright, back in again. Going to load in some of those right clicks, which is our cannons. They're being really maneuverable today. They're being really aggressive. We've got ballistics coming in from what's probably a buccaneer off behind us. So I'm just hitting with both weapons now. Left click and right click, holding it down at once. Because we're going to take hull damage from those ballistics because they'll penetrate the shield. There we go. Power back to... Let's get a bit of boost back. Power back to engines. I'm going to stay in the fight here, but that was 1 minute 44 seconds on my clock. Add another 30 seconds to the travel time where we were talking. You're talking 2 minutes to kill the Valkyrie, and we could boot out. Now, there's 22,000 coming up on the screen. You can VHRT in this ship. You can do a lot on this ship. I'm going to take out some of my aggression and fight for a little bit longer. So let's do power back to weapons, which is F5. Cutlass. You do not want to mess with me today. Your shields are already down. I've got a size 5 cannon on the nose of this thing. And if you just make one mistake into your turn like you've done there, I'm going to light you up. There you go. I'm literally just gonna shift up. I'm gonna take a few hits because I gun him massively. Yep, there you go. That's his parts blown off, not mine. And just let those smaller cannons do the job. There we go. That was 1 hit from the M7A while the cannons were keeping that shield down. We got that buck that we were talking about earlier. I might just quickly throw in another wee sneaky VHRT. I don't think we've got our money's worth so far, so we'll do one more just to continue talking about the tactics. Someone's coming in below me here that we might have the targeting bug, which would be quite nice to talk about because it is a pain in the hole, and that might be a hurricane that's not on our radar. So I'm not really paying attention to this buck. I'm just trying to see if I can pick up where that laser fire was coming from. Okay, so I'm just going to stop the ship and then shoot the buck as it comes at us. There we go. Yeah, that's the best way to deal with that bug. Don't Don't strafe with the Buccaneer. Yeah. We've got a Hurricane. I can hear its fucking weapons. You know, I'm completely used to the Hurricane's weapons now, so I know when that piece of shit is about. Just making sure. Yeah, nothing interesting in chat. So this is a targeting bug where the enemy will not come up on radar, even when you scan and do all sorts of stuff. And when you do get them in your sights, you'll be unable to target them. Really, it's a waste of time dealing with these. Even if they're your primary target, just abandon the bounty. Because, I mean, if you want to practice, absolutely. But for efficiency, like, I don't even know where it is. It's so difficult. I'd be, like, spending ages trying to find that. I think it is a Hurricane.
Travel freely, but cautious of any hostiles still hiding in system.
Okay. Yeah. No problem. I'll do the event later. I know I'll probably have to go to bed because it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, we'll do one more quick one just so you get your money's worth. And if that extends the time of the video, I think it's worth it. Just, I want you going away with a good impression of the ship because I can't state it. It's. There you go. See, we're getting hit again. I'm trying to see some engine trails, but I don't know where they are. I don't really feel like doing an atmosphere. I don't think I'm in the mood for an atmosphere, but you didn't really get a good atmosphere. I'll show you the cannon in atmosphere. I will finish on an atmosphere, okay. But yeah, I don't think you got your money's worth because we've seen it stock, and usually I don't do this. Usually I don't show you the power back to shields. Usually I don't show you the upgrades I would do, but you have to really make that investment with the Warden. That ballistic at front, it drains too quickly. It's gimbal size force. You're not getting the maximum weapon size out of it. Your cannons are fixed anyway. Those 4 cannons are fixed. So why not go for a full fixed loadout? And if you go for a full fixed loadout, that means you've got a size 5 on the nose with 4 size 2s. That's a lot of firepower. The missiles, which we haven't even talked about, so there's 4 size 2s, another 4 size 2s, and another 4 size 3s. So that's a lot of missile power. If you really get in a jam and you need to take something out and bug out, you're going to have the firepower and missiles there to do it. You don't have the firepower and missiles to stay out in the belt ages if your tactics rely on missiles, because you're going to be going back every 2 seconds to rearm. It's not like it's the 600i with 16 missiles. Well, I suppose this has 12 in total, or the Constellation Andromeda with 40, so very few ships could match up to the Constellation Andromeda's missile count. Okay, please just give me a break and no fucking Hurricanes. I don't know if my head can deal with them. Power back to engines to get that boost replenished. So that's a Freelancer, a MISC Freelancer, the military variant. I'm not seeing... okay. Right, so Hurricanes. Back into space. Deploying countermeasures with H on your keyboard. Decided not to fucking work. I found that missiles are way more accurate in space. So we're just going into space, right? Effect this ship. I'm going to get that repair back to our shields by going full power to shields F7. We've got someone on our tail, so I'm going to just take off cruise control, spin us down, target lock, and see who's getting close. But you see what we've done here? We've got a couple of seconds, maybe a minute or so into our kill time, but we've completely separated the pack. We've got a Saber. Let's deal with the Saber. Let's catch the Saber on the turn. I'm not touching any of my movement controls. I'm just going to let the Saber come to me, hit that big size 7 into it, and then open up with the size 4s. Boom. Right? We took a hit there on the shields. That's fine. It's just a Saber. Not just a Saber. I'm not going to diminish the ship that way, but when we're in a Warden, we can stop, and we can then just blop it calmly. We've only added a couple of seconds or minutes to our kill time, and I am feeling a lot less stressed if we were trying to attack in Atmo. Bring them out to us. Bring them out to us. Because that Hurricane usually will stay down. And look, here we come. Here's a Buccaneer going absolutely crazy. So he's going to get a flyby on us because we didn't really catch him. But then he's in the turn, and that big size 5, the M7A. I was just about to move in and use the 4 cannons. Who have we got here? That's a Freelancer. I'm, again, not touching WASD. I'm just yawing and pitching. Now, we are taking a few hits here, so we might want to dodge a wee bit, but I'm just showing off a bit now because I'm just showing the power of the ship. There's the big M7A, power back to weapons. We didn't have the power on weapons. That power was on the shields, wasn't it? So that's probably how we were taking some of those hits. So I'm not even using the cannons. you know, it's doing a good job bringing those shields down. I'm going to do some maneuvering now because it's just a bit silly, because our shields are going down. But if we bring in then now the 4 size 2s, and let then, you can alternate them, so switch back and then alternate, or fire them all at once. See the difference that size 5 M7A cannon on the nose makes? It's absolutely massive. Power back to shields. Calm, relax. Maybe we've added a minute or two. I don't even think it's that much. You can check the times in the video. We have added barely anything to getting our kill time. And we've got some extra money from thinning out the herd. This is what we should have done earlier. Now we go back down, and now we deal with the hurricane. And if we are struggling in Atmo, bring him back out into space. And at least then you're going to see that this ship handles a lot better in space. Most of them do. We do have some damage, and we're getting a torque imbalance, so we just want to be careful as we're approaching the ground here, that you don't get a bug, which is what was happening to me, where it continues to move forward even though we're not in cruise control. I want a chill end to this episode. I might just bring this hurricane back into space. Look at the shields. Look how quickly. If you're getting those hits with that size 5, we're mincing him. Power back to weapons, which we didn't have on there, by the way. I think we were on shields, were we? Let them fully reload. I'm shooting them too soon. Let that fully reload. It's fine. Just get into him. Just at about... Don't let it go any longer than, say, 5 or 6 seconds, or his shield's going to recharge. He's getting really good few hits on us, so I'm just getting a bit of boost here to try and get under him. We are upside down, so apologies for that. Now, this is where we can get greedy. We can commit, but then he's going to... Yeah. We committed. We were 10% on our shields. That was a little bit reckless. But when you've got the size 5 M7A on your nose, one of those with his shields down, and you've got the 4 size 2 lasers shooting at the same time, we can be a bit ballsier there. But that was a little bit reckless because we could have started taking hull damage, and hull damage affects the time that you can stay out in the field. Guys, so... what a great way to end a very stressful evening, not because of this ship. Now, I'll finish with a brief story. I did film a video on this ship a few weeks ago, and the entire video I had my mic muted. So I went off in a rage in the 600i, basically picking a fight with lots of different hammerheads, and I have that footage. I'll see if I get that up. But when I did the video initially with this, it was a much better evening for bugs and just all sorts of things. And we've ended this session together, I think, rekindling that feeling. And the feeling I have when I fly the Warden, back then and just now, is a feeling of actually being relaxed. The Warden pulled through for us when everything else was going wrong, and I was stressed to the nines. But when I settled down and just started to repay the Warden for that kindness, it was a very comfortable experience. It was a very straightforward fight, and it was a very nice place to be inside this ship. And as you're flying it in Atmo and things like that, you're just going to continue to have a good time. You're going to have fun picking your friends up. They're going to be absolutely wowed by you having this ship, and they can get in the turret. They can store their armory here. You can drop them off at stations. You can, you know, go for FPS mission fights. You can quantum across the entire system, no problem at all. Sometimes doing 2 or 3 trips, depending upon where you're going. It's got good shields. It's got good stock weapons. But trust me, the difference it makes when you get that M7A size 5 cannon on the nose is absolutely bonkers. I can't state it enough. It is absolutely bonkers. So, everyone, my name is Stressed Out Magoo. No, it's Brew Crick, and you can call me Brew. And thank you so much for watching this video and sticking through it if you have. And if you haven't, I don't blame you. It's a stressful one, but I will be doing a full VHRT one on this. It'll be a short. I'll do it as a short, just to cover this ship one more time. If you haven't been able to make it through to that more successful second half to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching, and you have an absolutely amazing day. See you again.